So we're going to create a new project. In your course materials, you will find this generator Ajax. So open this into Visual Studio Code, open the index, and I'm gonna right click and open this with Live Server. So this is going to be the project name generator. From here you can select, for example, a country, and you can select, for example, France. You can select between male and female, for example, female. And you can select how many names you want to generate. Then we're gonna click on generate, and it's going to display the list of names here on the right. So this is going to be a really helpful project, especially for people that is looking, for example, for a name for his baby or something like that. And we're gonna use this REST API called uinames.com is the website, but you can use the REST API also. It's going to use JSON, is going to give the response as a JSON. And the main difference between this and the previous project is that you can pass optional parameters. So we're gonna see how we can send these parameters using this form. We're gonna read these values, and we're gonna send the parameters into the REST API. So it's going to filter the results, and it's going to display the results here on the right. So first we're gonna open the project, and we're gonna see this really quick. You can see that we have a form. It has this ID, so we're gonna select this ID. Then we have these options. So we're gonna filter by country. You can see we have filter by country. If you take a look here on the optional parameters, you can see that we can pass region specific results. So it's going to be a URL like this. It's going to return only names that are specific to this region. And we have these names. Of course, you can add more countries into this list once we finish this project. So the basic idea for this project is, for example, if you're having a baby or something, or anyone is having a baby, maybe they want to see names from Brazil, and Brazil should be with C. Or maybe they want names from Italy or something like that. We're gonna allow the user to filter by country. Also, if they know that they will have a baby girl or baby boy, we can filter by male or female. So we're gonna add this. It's going to be the gender. And finally, we have number of names to generate. You can see I added this as a quantity. So this quantity and this genre are something that you can pass into the REST APIs. You can see that we have the limit results to the male or female, so we can pass something like this. And also right here is the amount of names. You can see that you can pass from 1 to 500. In this case, I added a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 15, but you can change these values in the HTML. Finally, we have an IDE with the results, so we're gonna inject the code right here. So we're gonna start working with this. We have this app.js, and we're gonna check for the submission of this form. So we're going to add document, and we're gonna add query selector. In this case, we're gonna see the name of the form. You can see we have these generate names. So as query selector, we're gonna use the pound sign. Then we're gonna add an event listener. This one is going to check for the submit, and we're gonna call this one load names. So then we're gonna execute the function to query the API, and it's going to call this function is going to be called load names. We're gonna pass the event because we're going to prevent the default, prevent default like this. So then we're gonna read the values from the form and create the variables. So we're gonna create a const, and we're gonna call this one origin. It's going to be a document get element by ID, and we're gonna select, and I think this is called country. You can see we have the ID right here, country. So we're gonna pass that country, and we're gonna access the value by adding dot value. Then const the genre for this. We're gonna add document get element by ID also, and we're gonna check the ID. You can see it's this genre. Then we're gonna add the value, dot value again. So finally we're gonna add the quantity. I'm gonna change this to amount, how many names we want to get from the REST API. So we're going to select this is quantity, the ID. So the document get element by ID. It's going to be the quantity and a value. So then we're gonna we're gonna build the URL. The URL, because we're going to pass this into the URL for the REST API, is going to be this one. We only need this part right here. So this is going to be the main URL. We're gonna add this as let, and we're gonna add the URL. So we're gonna read these values, and we're going to add more parameters into the URL. So let's start working with name, with origin. Read the origin and append to the URL. In case that this is this value is there, so we're gonna add if origin is not equals to something or an empty string, that means that the user has select something. So in this case, we're gonna select the URL, and we're gonna add plus sign equals, and we're gonna add the template or string literals. So you can see we're reading the country, the origin, and right here we have this region. So this is going to be the name. So we're gonna copy this, and we're gonna concatenate this to the URL. So we're gonna paste right here. Instead of having Germany, I'm going to add $sign in curly braces, and we're gonna copy the origin right here. So whatever the user has select from the form is going to be added right here. So we're gonna add, need to remove this right here, and we're gonna append an ampersand at the end. So we're gonna add console.log, and we're gonna pass the URL. So save this and open the project. I'm gonna inspect this and open the console. And right here, for example, if I add something like Colombia and try to generate, this is going to add Colombia into the URL. So you can open this, for example, open this. And now you can see we have a name from Colombia. It's printing the name Jenny, and you can see the gender is female, but it's filtering by the region. Andrea, Alejandro, we're getting names from Colombia. In the case that the person doesn't add any country, we can generate this, and it's going to print this without the region. So that's why we're using this builder in the URL. So in the next video, we're going to continue building this URL. So let's continue in the next video.